Everyone loves Disney movies, which is why you're probably willing to suspend your disbelief so you can get lost in the magic and enchantment. But as much as you love Disney films, there are some Disney plot holes that are very, very hard to overlook. 1. Why didn't Ariel write Prince Eric a letter? After saving Prince Eric from drowning, Ursula tricks Ariel into making a deal to transform her into a human for 3 days in exchange for her voice. Only catch is, she has to make Prince Eric fall in love with her within 3 days, or else she'll turn back into a mermaid and belong to Ursula for eternity. Problem is, Ariel can't speak, so Eric doesn't realize she's the woman with the beautiful voice who saved her earlier in the film. But even though Ariel couldn't speak, there was a pretty simple way she could have made him aware that she was the girl that saved him: writing. Ariel revealed that she can write when she signed Ursula's contract to turn into a human. So why didn't Ariel simply grab a piece of paper and pen and explain that she lost her voice? 2. Why didn't Mufasa's pride care that Scar lied? When Simba demands Scar step down and allow him to take his place as king at the end of The Lion King, Scar attempts to turn the pride against Simba by telling them he's responsible for Mufasa's death, even though we all know Scar killed Mufasa, but whatevs. Scar is all, "Everyone hates you now because you killed Mufasa," and Simba's all, "No, it was an accident," and the lionesses are all super scandalized. But anyone notice that the pride barely even reacted to the fact that Simba is alive? Scar had lied to them for years about Simba dying in the same stampede Mufasa died in years ago, and they barely cared. Rude much? 3. Why can Pocahontas speak English? Pocahontas and her tribe have never encountered English before John Smith and his crew came to America, and yet the Native Americans can all speak fluent English. I mean, I know it's a Disney movie and liberties have to be taken to appeal to young viewers, but come on. 4. Why did Buzz Lightyear freeze in front of Andy? In Toy Story, all the toys freeze whenever a child comes into the room so that they don't blow their cover. For the majority of the movie, Buzz Lightyear doesn't think he's a toy, but an actual space commander on an intergalactic mission. So why did he freeze whenever Andy came into the room? 5. Why doesn't Woody remember his previous owners? Throughout the Toy Story trilogy, Woody is constantly worried about Andy losing interest in him and giving him away. But in Toy Story 2, it's revealed that Woody is a special collector's edition toy from 1958, making him over 40 years old. It practically guarantees Andy wasn't his first owner. Since Jessie the cowgirl is still traumatized from being deserted by her original owner, clearly toys don't forget their owners. So why can't Woody remember his? 6. Why didn't Cinderella's glass slippers transform back at midnight? Cinderella's fairy godmother tells Cinderella that at the stroke of midnight, the spell turning her into an elegant, high society debutante would be broken, changing her royal carriage back into a pumpkin, her horses back into mice, her beautiful ball gown back into rags, and presumably, her glass slippers back into, well, slippers. But after the clock strikes midnight, her slippers are the only thing that don't change back into the original form. But why? 7. Why didn't anyone think the glass slipper plan was stupid? Speaking of Cinderella's glass slipper, Prince Charming's master plan to find the girl from the ball, aka Cinderella, was to force every woman in the kingdom to try on the slipper she left behind until he found her. But assuming no one knew the glass slipper was magical, why didn't anyone point out that in a kingdom filled with thousands of people, multiple women are bound to fit into one size shoe? 8. Why does all of Rapunzel's hair turn brown when Flynn cuts it? In Tangled, Flynn cuts off Rapunzel's hair at the end of the movie, to destroy its magic and free her from Mother Gothel. But why does cutting Rapunzel's hair destroy its magic and turn it brown in the first place? Rapunzel's source of healing power stemmed from a magical golden flower with healing properties that was fed to her mother while she was pregnant. In real life, when you pull a leaf off a plant, only the leaf dies, not the rest of the plant that's still connected to the root. Which is why it doesn't really make sense that all of Rapunzel's hair turned brown when Flynn cut it to save her. If Rapunzel's power of healing is inside of her and not in the hair, which obviously it is since her tears ended up saving Flynn, following plant logic, shouldn't the hair that was still connected to her body remain blonde? 9. Why didn't Charlotte turn into a frog? At the end of Princess and the Frog, Mama Odie revealed that the only way for Tiana and Prince Naveen to change back into humans is for Prince Naveen to kiss a princess. So Charlotte, who's temporarily a princess because her dad was crowned king of Mardi Gras, agrees to kiss Prince Naveen to change them back. But the clock strikes midnight before Charlotte kisses Prince Naveen, which means she technically was no longer the princess of Mardi Gras. So shouldn't she have turned into a frog like Tiana? 10. Why was there a portrait of the Beast as a grown-up hanging in his castle? When the Enchantress cast a spell on Beast and all his innocent servants, she said that if the Beast could learn to love and win someone else's love in return before the last petal of the enchanted rose fell on his 21st birthday, he would transform back into a human. In the movie, Lumiere mentions that it's been 10 years since the curse was cast, which means Beast must have been just 11 when the Enchantress cast it. So why was there a portrait of the prince as a grown-up hanging in the castle if he was only 11 when he was last human? And would the Enchantress really curse an entire castle of innocence over an 11-year-old's selfishness?